Blah, blah. I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it.
Hey guys, we're Javi and Joe on the go, and with the current global situation going on, it's kind of affecting the on the go part, so it's time we address that.
We are all very aware of the situation in the world right now, and being that we are US citizens and with the recent level 4 do not travel advisory that was just issued, we feel like it's something that we need to talk about right now. But to all our friends and family, we do hope that you all are staying safe, staying healthy, and doing your part to minimize the effects of COVID-19. So stay healthy, friends.
So real quick, just to give you guys an overall picture of the situation here in Mexico, here's some of the latest information that we found. The most reliable source in English that we found is on the US Embassy of Mexico's website. It says that there's currently 164 confirmed cases in Mexico, and that's of today, March 20th, 2020. Some of the measures that Mexico has taken are, as of today, March 20th, schools are now closed. March 23rd, they're supposed to do a social distancing campaign.
But it's not called social distancing, it's healthy distancing.
¿Cómo se dice?
Sana
distancia. But anyway, public, private, social activities should be suspended. People are recommended to stay home. Obviously, if you can work remotely, you're encouraged to do so. However, public transportation still remains operational. Large events of more than 5,000 people should be suspended or postponed or rescheduled and so on.
5,000.
Yeah, 5,000.
5,000.
That seems kind of like a lot still.
Yeah, I'd be freaked out about 100 people congregating in one area.
People who show symptoms are highly encouraged to stay home for 14 days. However, there aren't any mandatory quarantine policies yet. And that goes for people that are
Actually
sick. There's
have the virus.
Yeah, there's no mandatory things in place.
Which you think is a little strange.
Yeah.
You'd at least quarantine those people, but we're just following what is on the website.
Yeah, another thing is that they are letting these things out in phases. Phase 1 was under 100 people. There wasn't really any measures taken.
Mm-hmm.
Phase 2, which they say they're transitioning into now, which is all of these other measures such as schools and social distancing. And I'm not exactly sure what phase 3 consists of, but I'm sure
they'd there yet.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'd put more of these mandatory things into place.
While there doesn't seem to be panic, we have started to notice the precautions being taken by some people. We saw some people in the store wearing masks. Most establishments offer hand sanitizer when you enter and exit the building. Some businesses have started to modify their business hours, and lots of cashiers actually are wearing face masks at the moment. But as of 2 days ago when we went to Walmart, there was tons of toilet paper and most essentials. The only thing that they didn't have was hand sanitizer.
And then of course some non-perishable items are starting to run low, but
they have most things.
Yeah.
No panic yet.
As for us, this is actually our second day of social distancing, or as they call it in Mexico, healthy distancing. So of course we'll be staying indoors and only going out for groceries or water.
Now let's try to put this into a more personal perspective and how it's affecting us and applying to us personally. We just came back from a trip. Yes, we took a trip. We will get into that in a moment.
So when we took off for our trip 6 days ago, Mexico was going about life pretty much normal. They were still in phase 1. You know, there were hand sanitizers in buildings, but for the most part, people were just going on like normal.
There were people out in the streets, especially traveling for the 3-day weekend that just occurred.
Yeah, which we were completely unaware of.
Yeah, Benito Juarez's birthday, which is actually a big deal, but we did not even know that there was a 3-day weekend. So there were tons of people traveling this weekend.
So when we took off for the trip to Hilitla, we really didn't think we were doing anything wrong. We were gonna spend some time in this Pueblo Mágico, just doing some hiking. We took our own car over there, so we thought we were golden.
What we were unprepared for was the sheer amount of people that were still traveling for this 3-day weekend. Thinking that we were gonna miss the crowds because we were showing up on Sunday proved to be completely wrong.
Hundreds of people just hanging out in the plaza, dancing, shopping in the markets, enjoying life. And honestly, if we weren't so aware of our own breathing and just kind of paranoia, we would have had a really, really much better time.
We felt completely healthy, but the fact that we were aware of our effects on other people, even though we were perfectly healthy, kind of ruined that experience for us. Not ruined, but didn't allow us to fully enjoy it. Hilitla was everything you would imagine and want in a small Mexican town. The people dancing, food, the culture, children running around in the streets, shopping, everyone just enjoying life. So that's everything we ever want or look for when we're traveling. So we would have loved it if we weren't so paranoid. I mean, we still loved it and we enjoyed it, but we could have enjoyed it even more.
When we arrived on Sunday, it was packed. Monday morning, it was still packed, and by Monday afternoon, there was only a handful of people walking around. If this is what happens when people leave after a weekend, what's gonna happen when people are no longer traveling, even on weekends?
That's when it hit us. These towns are gonna be the ones that suffer the most. The entire travel and tourism industry is gonna struggle, but it's pueblos like this that depend on tourism to support their economy. What economy they do have. These towns struggle as it is. But imagine not having any tourism. A lot of these pueblitos are extremely dependent on tourism. So there's a large possibility that some of these small businesses are not gonna be able to stay afloat. That is not just here in Mexico, but places all over the world that depend on tourism to support their economy.
Yeah, I can't help but to think of like the small little towns in Thailand and in Indonesia.
Even in Italy.
Yeah.
Like, the drastic effects this virus is gonna have on economies all over the world is insane.
Specifically tourism.
Yes. So why does it matter? We travel for a living. We created this channel so we could share experiences and inspire people to travel and really get to experience all the food, tradition, culture, and all the great things about travel.
We especially love visiting these small little towns, and we've met some amazing people there. These are people that make their livelihood off of tourism, so now more than ever, they're really gonna need our support.
So that gets us to our main point. Don't cancel your trips, just postpone them. If you can avoid getting a full refund and just getting a travel credit instead, do that.
So yeah guys, keep that vacation fund intact and ready for your next vacation. Because let's face it guys, after all this is said and done, you're gonna need a vacation. Not only that, but your money will be going into an economy that was probably hit very, very hard. If you can afford to leave your vacation fund sitting there, just change your dates for a later time. Keep your itinerary intact so that you can do all the things that you had planned.
Granted, we totally understand that a lot of people can't just leave their money sitting there, especially after the effects of not working for an extended period of time, because we don't know how long this is gonna last, honestly. We understand if you need to get your refund, cancel your trips, because your family is your main priority.
But like we said, if you can't afford to push back your trip a few months or however long it is, take the travel credit.
Don't get a refund. There's a chance that you'll end up changing your trip or canceling your trip altogether. You're gonna need a trip after all this, and those small towns and those cities that depend on tourism are gonna need it as well. So like us, put your plans on pause and just look forward to getting through this so that you can take your next trip.
So that's essentially our call to action for the day. If you have the means to do so, don't cancel your trips, just postpone them. So since we're basically on pause and things seem to be changing daily, here's a little update about our current situation. We're currently in Mexico and have been for the last 5 months, except for going home for Christmas. So we've basically been living in Mexico, not just traveling.
So as of right now, we do plan to stake it out here in Mexico. We don't have any current plans to go back to the US just yet. We've been staying in San Luis Potosi for the last month and a half.
Yeah.
And if anything, we're just gonna extend our stay here.
We were supposed to be moving on to Querétaro here in the next couple weeks, but since the situation changed, we've decided to just stick it out here in San Luis and extend our stay here. We will be reaching out to our host in Querétaro and hopefully pushing back our dates, not canceling, just pushing them back.
We have managed to turn this little home into our home away from home. So we will be doing healthy distancing, going on runs, cooking a lot, teaching more classes than originally planned, and working on some videos.
So next up, we'll be putting out some videos of Hilila, our recent trip. But after that, since we can't exactly create any more, I guess, travel content, we'll be going through all our hard drives from the past, from China, Vietnam, Thailand,
Bali, South Korea, guys. We went to South Korea.
Singapore, and it's really exciting. And we're gonna be making some videos that we didn't feel like we had time to make. So we're gonna go ahead and
put those out.
Yeah. Besides that, we will be making content from here. Honestly, it could be a total surprise, guys. It could be the most random videos.
We're not sure exactly what we're going to be creating on the daily.
Yes. And if you have any suggestions, we would love to hear them for sure.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. What do you guys want us to create while we're social distancing, healthy distancing? Also, we will be posting daily on our Instagram account. So if you don't follow us there and you want to know what we're up to daily in the confines of our house, follow us on Instagram.
So that's the plan. You never know what can happen in the next few days. So for now, we're just gonna
go with that.
Yeah. If you're interested with keeping up with Mexico, we'll link some sources in the description below. We'll also link our social media accounts so you can keep up with us there. Also, we mentioned that we'll be teaching. For those of you that don't know, we teach with VIP Kid, an online teaching company teaching kids K through 12 in China. We'll go ahead and link a blog post below so you can get more info on that. And honestly, it'd be a really good use of your time because you teach kids from home and you get paid pretty well.
So you can make a couple extra bucks while you're social distancing. So to all our friends out there and our family, stay safe, stay inside, stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye guys.
Bye.